It is very good that occasionally, and increasingly so, you're able to drop everything like this, mentally. Bring your mind to ground zero. You can do it. You can watch the strategies of the egoic aspirations and cut it, drop everything to ground zero in yourself. We have the capacity and the power, the grace to do that. Because each time you do this, you find there's something that cannot be dropped. It cannot be picked up, it cannot be dropped, it cannot be lost. It's always there. And always in this place, you take your deepest breath because there's no expectation there. You see? And sometimes you remember, oh, drop it. Then comes a time, then you don't pick up anything, so you don't drop anything. The eyes are open, senses are completely open, completely available, but it's not shopping. Mind is not shopping through the senses. So the senses become instruments of silence. You taste, everything is beautiful, but it's silent, you know. The tongue is silent, the food is silent, everything becomes silent. You see. Then you experience somehow intuitively like you're like space, walking through space. I don't know another way of putting this. Some of you know this already. There's nothing in occupation here. It's like space. But it's not blank. There's a serene intelligence, a sensitivity, a beauty that has no form. It is in and behind and beyond every breath you take. It is the one who is looking from behind the eyes. Sometimes behind the eyes there is a conditioned looker. And this conditioned seer is shopping through the eyes. But behind this one, there is one that just sees. And this one is the shine in your eye. Because this one is the shine in the eyes. The light of consciousness. That's it, no? You want to say something? Thank you.
Babaji, when the Sagadatta said that it took him 3 years,
Yes.
because it seemed that that recognition happened,
Yes.
and then you also mentioned about a certain maturing,
Yes.
and then a complete steadiness in it. Is that what he meant?
Yes. Before we go, just quickly, this is good. And Tyagi is saying that when Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj said it took him 3 years to realize the self, what happened? What does it mean? Because we are talking about this. The realization first come. And this is so fast, seeing a shift in perspective, that it's seen that what is here is not the one that has a history, isn't the one that have a birth certificate and a star sign and family and future and all of this stuff. It's beyond this. Pure like space. Then what took 3 years then, you see? What took 3 years is that gradually the beingness, the mind had to stabilize and assimilate completely into this. So that it is not merely held as some theoretical understanding. His entire being was immersed in that understanding. To the effect that the outer life and inner life are one. Just like if the fruit is good, the taste will be good. So in that seeing, what happened is that it took a certain type of, a kind of maturity. That will take its own time. And in each one, it will vary. For someone can come to complete maturity in the space of maybe, 2 or 3 months also. It can happen. Nisargadatta Maharaj, what he say is that my Guruji told me that I am not what I've been conditioned to believe I am. I am the infinite within which even this play is occurring. And I believed him. There was a tremendous power in that belief. But by itself it was not enough. Something else had to follow on from this belief. He himself said that I spent many days, as often as it could occur to me, to contemplate this feeling of I am. Constantly, the feeling of I am was allowed to marinate in itself. It was constantly, he was still doing what he had to do, take care of your children, open your shop, do your business, but every moment that it could, as it flashed in his mind, the feeling of I am, he was contemplating it. He was preventing this I amness feeling from associating with any other feeling. And gradually it came to the point where it was shining by itself, uninterrupted, without any association, without any content like this. And then he said, then I realized the self. This is it. So the first stage is that blast of recognition where it is seen beyond doubt. And this is so important because once this has taken place within, it's occurred to itself that I am that, then the doubt is removed. At least you have experienced the potential. You know that it's not merely theory. Theory cannot give you this taste. So you know this. Thereafter, the mind sometimes comes back very strongly. It's like it's fighting for dominance, in fact. But gradually now, with the force of the conviction, the force and the taste of that liberating experience, a sort of an inner confidence surfaces that allows you to complete your sadhana, to completely comb out all this noise that you picked up by associating with what is transient. That will take its own time. But the major work, that flash to come to that place beyond doubt, that experience must happen within. Otherwise, it merely remains as a kind of theory inside the mind. And the intellect can imitate the seeing. It can tell itself it's enough because I understand this. I can talk about it. I could even write a book about it. It could be a bestseller even. But you may not have realized this thing, not in the way. So to realize it for a moment or two, for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, it's not enough. Something contemplates it because the mind pushes up again. This weed pushes up again, and each time it's pulled up by the root. It's pulled up by the root, and what it means pulled up by the root, each time it's looked, because the force of habit will keep on trying to remind the beingness that you are a person, that you are an object. And because so many times you've believed it in the past, why not believe it again? You see? So each time it comes, something looks and dismisses or transcends this suggestion, until gradually there's no energy left inside the egoic mind. It loses all its influence, and then there's no more unsteadiness for you. It's like you have fallen through a hole in existence, and you're all space again. So this stage where there is a kind of maturing, but this maturing is taking place against a background of unchanging awareness. This is the mystery and the paradox in some way, that there's this awareness which cannot progress. It has no way of knowing what progress means. It's so innocent beyond even the concept of innocence. It's there. But yet in the dynamic manifestation, the taste of beingness in this body, we will continue going through some kind of mystical refinement or something, where you're coming into deeper and deeper levels of seeing and being, like this. Papaji himself mentioned it, that this ocean is bottomless, unfathomable. This deepening is going on. What a mystery. But from your own level of experiencing, what you will see is when the I feeling arises and it's looked at, what can I be, what is this I searched for? See, everything comes to space. There's no landing place for this question anymore. There isn't a landing place anymore. Presently, sometimes we ask this question in a really authentic way, like searching to find where that I is located within, where that noise is coming from, that pulsation, where is it coming from? And each time we have a sense, a psychological sense that we are somebody. Yeah? And the ego is afraid somehow in us to be so clearly seen that it has no power. It seems as though it's like this. But in that, the depth of looking which is surfacing in you, otherwise I don't think you could become into these type of satsangs. If there wasn't something that now has learned not to run away. When you have understood that something wants to run, but that something that wants to run is not who you are, then somehow the courage, if you want to call it courage, remains to complete your inquiry. Always, there is never a time when the mind has completely eclipsed the being. Not ever time. There's always a light of some consciousness is there, the ability to see. Like this man who we love so much, he's talking now. Somebody was saying that, oh, he's mad. He's not mad. Maybe a sense of madness, of an uncontrollable behavior maybe is going. But but he's there also to know it. Sometimes you just watch and you see that something is happening. Even in ourselves also we see that there's a behavior taking place in spite of what you think you want to do. Something you want to go here, you end up going here. The only difference is that you don't mind. This is the beauty, that you don't mind. If you do mind, then you start to feel, oh no, life is so hard and these people and yeah. So keep your intentions as sketches and go wherever the wind blows you, knowing that it cannot blow you out of yourself. Nothing can blow, not an atomic bomb cannot blow you out of yourself, if you know this thing. Thank you.